Hello, quarantined teachers. In this video, I will be showing you my exit ticket slash do now routine that I used to promote engagement and some sort of metacognition in my students in my summer school class, and to show kind of how we learned. I've always struggled with exit tickets in the physical classroom because it involves a whole lot of, at the end of the day, I have a big stack of Post-its with things written on them and I got to sort them, blah, blah, blah. And then how do I turn them into a graph to then put on my Google Slides for the next day? And it ends up being a lot of like extra work for not a lot of value added. However, I'm finding in the online world, it's very easy to do exit tickets because I can do a Google Form exit ticket because students are already on their computers. There's not fumbling around to get the computer login, find the exit, blah, blah, blah. It's already there. They're already on it. They click the link, they do the exit ticket. And then I can share that data easily with them the next day. I'm going to show you how I do that. So here's an example agenda. It was a Monday. It was day 5 of our summer school class. You can see the do now was review, was look at the exit ticket review. We had some other activities in the middle of class, and then they had an exit ticket. So their exit ticket, I tried to vary it. I always asked, what was your name, in case something funky came up and I wanted to, catch that a certain student needed something. But I varied the kinds of questions I asked. I would always try to ask some content review questions, like how much do you know now, or what's something that's very important that you learned in class today. And I also tried to get some sort of feedback for the teacher type questions. What's something that worked? What's something that helped you? I did some vocab reviews sometimes. And then after students did the exit tickets, it comes up with, if you code them, especially as multiple choice, or like how much do you know, I would go from nothing to a lot, 1 to 5. These lovely charts, which are so easy to just copy, click this, copy, and then you can paste it right onto a slideshow. So at the end of the day, I'd skim through the exit tickets, think about it for a minute, and then I'd put together slides for the next day. So here's the do now that the students saw. They had to look at these 4 slides and just comment, what do they notice in the data from our exit tickets, and what does that mean for our class, right? And so you can see here, I asked the same question on 2 different days, one at the beginning of the week before we learned about the election in class, and then at the end of the week, what do they know about it now after we've studied for a few days? A lot of students noticed here, hey, look, we know more than we did. Someone is at a 5, a lot of us are at a 4. Whereas before, most of us were at a 3. So we know more. We learned some stuff last week, and I felt good about that. I had introduced some election campaign strategies, some key vocabulary, right? So you can see which terms people understand best. That's great for me as the teacher to see, okay, we don't need to spend a lot of time studying negative or attack ads, but look, no one said glittering generalities. No one said guilt by association / coattailing. These 2 terms we need to study more. I would also try to include some open response type things so students could look and see what worked for them, what didn't. And so the students can see something that worked, something that they think they'll need help for the next week. I also, sometimes a student said something that was really profound, and I called it the golden quote. So I put a golden slide and put the quote up. I love this. Being on time and paying attention pays off, and we all know that's true. But this was a really easy routine for me. Once I had made my exit ticket for the end of class, I already had my do now put together for the next class. Every day they came in, the do now was, go to this link, look at the slides, right, that show yesterday's exit ticket data, and what do you notice? What can we learn from this data? Every day that was my do now. And students were noticing the same kinds of things I was noticing, which meant there was more buy-in into whatever we were doing in class, the instructional decisions I had made. They were understanding why I made them. But it was also just so easy for me, rather than planning a new do now every day. I already knew it was my do now. I just had to look at my exit ticket information once they filled things out, copy and paste the charts, and then copy and paste some of the answers from open responses into 3 or 4 slides, and boom, my do now was made. I had meaningful work for the students. It was reflective, and it really kind of was able to show things, especially like show that we're learning show that our confidence was growing. I hope this can be helpful to you in your own virtual classrooms. Stay safe.